Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us for today's episode of Canal Days. As always, I'm your host Carrie, along with my co-host, founder of the Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, Robert Camus. Our Canal Days series delves into the vast collection of historical sites throughout Massachusetts, with Robert's expertise of the local history as our personal guide. Each episode, we uncover history throughout local communities with historic houses, meaningful monuments, preeminent pivotal pioneers, and remarkable remaining remnants, all while uncovering their seminal significance. Today's episode of Canal Days will be discussing the Lamb Wire Mill Canal, located in Northampton, Massachusetts. So, can you disclose on what they made at the Lamb Wire Mill?
All right, one of their products, of course, was the wire, but what they do with the wire here, right? Well, not only did they make wire to use in the houses, but they made wire brushes that you can rub against old wood and get it all cleaned up, ready to paint. They also made wire bristles on brooms so that you could sweep clean old concrete, for instance, and clean that up and get ready to do it over. So any wire brush item. So this is very strong wire. It wasn't the flexible style of wire. And it was owned by a man named Horace Lamb, and he got it going early on, but it changed drastically. So I'll tell you any changes it might have and what the canal was relative to the mill. And what's there now, and drastically is different.
And can you clarify what the Smith's grist mill made and how they compare?
All right, alongside it, Horace Lamb brought in another mill. He might have owned the mill, but he brought another mill that was in, and they paid rent on the land and on the water rights to be there. It was called the Smith's grist mill, and of course they made out of wheat. They'd grind it up, grist it up, and they'd make flour. That was their main job, and flour was incredibly important 200 years ago, as it somewhat still is. And you have to remember the diets of these people wasn't as vastly and nutritious as it is nowadays. And the Smith grist mill is gone, but they ended up taking over the whole place. And so thus, the Lamb mill didn't last as long as the Smith's mill. They ended up owning both the mills at the same time. And that takeover year was 1910. But if you go there now, there's nothing there.
And don't worry, stick around because we'll be right back after this quick important announcement. Are you fascinated by local history and eager to investigate the obscure treasures off the beaten path throughout the state of Massachusetts? Or maybe just seeking an unforgettable cultural activity for family and friends to enjoy? Look no further than Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, founded by Robert Camus. With over a decade of experience, Robert offers captivating tours and presentations of historic sites and landmarks throughout the state. Whether you're interested in canals, cemeteries, charming churches, or more, Robert's tours provide a unique and enriching experience for all. And that's not it. You can also schedule private tours tailored to your interests, ensuring a personalized adventure and unforgettable memories. Perfect for families or groups of all sizes, making for an exciting hands-on learning experience that brings history to life. Simply visit holyokecanaltour.org or email bobcat4214, capital B, at yahoo.com to book your private tour today. But wait, there's more. Don't miss out on Robert's podcast and video series, Canal Days, where you can dive even deeper into the vital history of the Connecticut River Valley. Plus, for those who may not be local or would rather enjoy on the go, or from the comfort of their home, Canal Days brings the adventure right to your screen. So don't miss out. Uncover the pivotal past with Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke to make your own history with memories that will last a lifetime. Remember to log on to holyokecanaltour.org for more information and secure your personalized experience today. Welcome back to our Canal Days episode of the Lamb Wire Mill Canal. And so, can you interpret for us a depiction of the canal and wheels and their arrangement relating to the mills?
All right, this was a canal in a classical sense of the way they were built in a Blackstone Valley where the water would be brought in close to the front of the mill, and they would leave very little space off of that brook or river. But there was some land dug, and it came in the front, not in the back. And the water would pass by that front and turn, usually an overshoot water wheel made out of wood. Sometimes they're still using, very long time ago, the undershoot, but mostly the overshoots, which are more powerful because they brought the water dropping downwards and that pushed hard. And this one, the Lamb Wire Mill, and its predecessor and companion, sometime the Smith Grist Mill, brought the water in front. So it's classically different, but it came first in history. And Northampton had both. Had the canals that brought it into the front and the canals that brought it in the back. The ones in the back were better because they could store water behind a dam for a reservoir. They could serve multiple turbines. They could also serve multiple mills. Whereas one that brought it in the front, it could not be arranged to get that going. And so thus, this is a simple case, but Northampton had those more complex cases later.
And can you render what lingers so still today?
What's there nowadays is a park. Not only is the canal gone, the mill gone, the dam gone, also the river's gone. The Mill River has been diverted. Once it leaves Smith College, it used to go to the left. Now, at some point they changed it so that it goes towards the right and underground, so you cannot see it. That was when the floods started coming in. They were very bad, 1930s, 40s, and there was such a need, and down toward Northampton had grown such a high level, there was a need to get rid of that Mill River from that location. Thus, not only all the remnants of the mill dam are gone, also the river is gone, and that's very unusual in itself.
And thank you for joining us and listening to Canal Days and our episode on the Landwire Mill Canal in Northampton, Massachusetts, and joining us on our journey through the rich history of the Connecticut River Valley. We hope you enjoyed uncovering some of the hidden and overlooked marvels and their fascinating stories that shaped our past in the state of Massachusetts. A special thanks to Robert Camus, founder of the Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, for sharing his passion and expertise with us. Remember, you can find more information about Robert's tours, book private tours, and explore the Canal Days video and podcast series at holyokecanaltour.org. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please like, comment, and share. We'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions for future episodes. Don't forget to keep exploring and discovering the history that is hidden in plain sight all around us. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to tune in to our next episode of Canal Days.